What's up, Barefoot Nation? I got a great video today. Have you ever wondered why your pond isn't always crystal clear? Well, stay tuned. I got the answers for you.
Alright guys, so we're going to start at the mouth of this issue. Pun intended, because we're looking at my waterfall. So, aeration is huge with the water feature. Whether you have a big collect pond that you want to have clear, or if it's a small 800 gallon garden pond just like mine. 800 gallon just because my pond is 800 gallons. What you're looking at here is an aquascape Biofalls. So you probably can't see too much plastic, and that's by design. So this thing is really supposed to look like a natural spring. And that's the goal with water features, is to have them look totally natural, even though in the case of a liner pond, they're completely man-made. Now, this waterfall is connected, it flows down a 7-foot stream right into the pond. And so, even though I built this pond, and it's man-made, it's crystal clear because I have rock and gravel, so boulders on the sides and gravel on the bottom. Now, one of the things you'll notice about my pond is you can see all the different colors of stone above water. Under the water, they're all basically the same color. The reason for that is I introduced different strains of beneficial bacteria, nitrifying bacteria to be specific, and that is what they colonize all of the surface area on the stone. So this is part of the filter. So if you wash this away with a pressure washer, or really anything more than a garden hose, you're doing damage to your pond's filter. The other part of the filtration system, fish are part of the filter, believe it or not. If you have a pond and you don't have fish, you're missing a portion. Now, you don't necessarily have to have koi like I do. You could do edible fish like tilapia or whatever, whatever fish you like to eat if you wanted to go that route. Or you could do goldfish, you could do, whatever freshwater fish you want that's suitable for your climate. Now, I live in zone 6, so this pond, we have temperatures down to -5 last winter. So putting in something like a cichlid wouldn't be kind to the fish. But there are people in Florida who do that. So the fish are huge. Now, the other part that's really important is plants. So when I'm talking about plants, water lilies are beautiful, but their main function is to shade the pond. They don't do a lot as far as pulling nutrients out of the pond. Really where it's at is marginals, specifically perennial marginals. Another potential thing that might keep your ponds from being crystal clear is fish. Now, fish are crucial to the ecology of the pond to feed the plants and, to feed the bacteria. But too many fish is what the issue is. Now, in the case of koi, where there are dozens of varieties, and it seems that every time you go to the pond shop, you have a temptation to buy more fish. It's important to kind of be careful and resist that urge if your pond is biologically full, because if you don't, that's what'll make your pond overstocked. Now, the rule of thumb is an inch of fish per 10 gallons of water is what the formula is, but I've found that a good happy medium is 250 gallons of water per koi fish. So goldfish on average need about 40 gallons of water per fish, based on the research that I've done. If you guys have seen different numbers or different formulas, let me know down in the comments. I'd like to hear from you guys. So the function of pond plants is to pull the nitrates out of the water. Now, let me back up a minute. Nitrates are the final product of the nitrogen cycle, which the nitrifying bacteria are responsible for carrying out. Nitrifying bacteria are what's also known as beneficial bacteria in the water garden industry, and they turn ammonia, which is fish poop, into nitrite. And then a different strain also included in your package turns nitrite into nitrate. Nitrate is what makes the algae in your water. So if you guys have a problem with green water, like, you could also need to have shade for your pond, which is also what plants will do, is shade the pond. So instead of having algae to soak up the nitrate, what we like to do is have aquatic plants. If you have a good selection of tropicals, which really soak up the nutrient load, and but you need to take them out for the winter and overwinter them, or just heat your pond, depending on your climate, that might be applicable, or you might not need to do that. But basically, tropical plants and perennials, if you live in a colder climate, like I live in a zone 6. Perennials, for example, this Fontanesi elephantier I need to pull out for the winter for it to survive. Another really important element for liner ponds is a skimmer. So I just showed you where my skimmer was, and to have the skimmer concealed is also really important. Now you can't see it at all because of the Paul's Glory Hosta and Fargesia rufa, but when you step aside and you open the fake rock lid, you even get free water hyacinth. That tends to happen with ponds that are well skimmed. You have a net, and this is, I recommend Aquascape products because they are really high quality. They're not the cheapest, but you're going to get better quality. So you would have, basically, you have a weir door, and this, if you guys want me to do installation videos or, something, tips about how to naturalize, just let me know down in the comments. So you can see basically I have a net in this case. I have another pad, which there are more pads in the Biofalls, and then there's the pump. So the pump, this is an Aquascape 3000 or AquaSurge 3000, and it's oriented vertically so that it utilizes the space in this small skimmer most adequately. So you can see the skimmer right there. Now the water is carried in a pipe underground, buried through this garden bed all the way around to the waterfall. So you can't see any of the man-made stuff because it's all grown in. But the pipe is inserted and glued into the Biofalls unit, which is buried and disguised, or a microfalls in this case, and it cascades down back into the pond, back in the skimmer. So this is a recirculating unit, and all liner ponds are. So there's no, you can put in things like autofill valves and all those bells and whistles, but for a basic pond, the main ingredients are a skimmer, a Biofalls, of course your liner, rock and gravel, fish, and plants. That's it. Another reason you guys might be experiencing green water in your ponds or any kind of pollution that keeps it from being crystal clear is because you might have lawn going right up against it, and that's not really good. So if we go along my pond, you can see that along the whole way there's garden. And what that does is it gives me a barrier so that all of this lawn clippings when I mow, which has nitrogen in it, which nitrogen feeds the bacteria, like I've talked about earlier, will in turn pollute the water. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind, is even an area like this is very narrow as far as the garden bed is concerned, but it's still enough, to keep lawn clippings out of the water. Now plants and in an area of garden is best as opposed to stone, because the plants will catch and filter the water before it goes into the pond.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So I hope you've learned something. Let me know what you think the problem with your pond is. If it's not crystal clear, let me know if it is crystal clear. I want to hear from you guys. I also want to take a moment now to thank each and every one of you guys who have subscribed to my channel. It means so much to me, and you guys are all incredible. So just thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Barefoot Nation. Thanks for watching.